Nika announced a few hours ago that they are removing a couple NPCs from the game. So let's go down this rabbit hole, let's put a little bit our tinfoil hat on, and let's talk about Nika copying artists, not creating them, and the consequences that that can have, like right now, removing NPCs from the game that we all love. So that said, before we start, like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. And today's topic is going to be something that happened 9 months ago that finally today we got confirmation on. So for those of you who don't know, 9 months ago, and when they released the Scarlet Black Shadow event, they also released these NPC characters, right? Now the problem with these NPC characters is that, as you can see, okay, and this is not, there is no tinfoil hat here, there is nothing. Shift Up went ahead and were like, oh, I like this design, let me copy it completely, okay? It's fine. There's nothing wrong with taking inspiration. You can call it inspiration, you can call it copying, whatever you want. Everyone does it. It's not the problem when you credit. When you are like, hey, we use this as references, let's change stuff. The issue is that they left everything as is. So as you can see, the hair is the same. Now, if they were to change the hair, I'm gonna assume they would have no issues with this because it wouldn't be as obvious. Okay, because it's pretty obvious right now. Now the thing is, there is not only these NPCs for this event, there is 2 NPCs, and there is 3 NPCs actually, and 1 character, playable character, which is SBS. Now, SBS is completely different, right? As you can see, completely different, even though the similarities with this character are still there, but she has her own unique flavor. So we'll talk about this later, but they almost had to also remove Black Shadow from the game. Almost have to remove Black Shadow from the game as well. We'll show the tweets and everything else in a second, but let's go over everything else first. So when this came out 9 months ago, there were a couple of problems, which the post doesn't exist anymore. But for those of you who don't know, this was a figurine and a drawing made in 2019 by an artist called Neko. And as you can see, once again, the NPC and the figurine that was released, it's identical, okay? They took this and were like, okay, let's make an NPC from this. Now, 9 months ago, so in December 29, right, 2023, the artist itself, Neko, said this, which is, I saw a new character from a certain game that I had commented on. I went to check it out, and the parts are almost the same. Okay, and we're not talking about like just the armor or everything else, because that's just inspiration. It looks like it, but it's not the same. The problem is the hair, the mask, everything else. So he keeps going on and says it might be a coincidence, but it's sad to see that so many things are happening one after the other. So nothing else came after this. Literally after this, nothing else came out. Nika went radio silent. They were probably talking with them, and then today, a few hours ago, Nika actually posted this only on the Japanese account, by the way, because remember that global, global who exactly? Global is second tier citizens in here, okay? So character details and support announcement. Shift Up has recently received criticism that 2 characters used in the game Goddess of Victory Nike, developed by our company, might resemble works by Neko released in 2019. Not it doesn't resemble, you copied, it's fine again, no one cares, we're gonna keep playing, but at least admit it. First of all, we would like to sincerely apologize to Neko and his fans for the concern and inconvenience that this criticism has caused. And then now this is the important part. After receiving this notice, we sincerely discussed the matter with Neko. As a result, we have decided to immediately discontinue the use of the NPC characters from the 2 NPCs. We'll show them in a second. However, thanks to Neko's generosity, we were able to obtain permission to continue using the Gurren Black Shadow. Gurren is Scarlet in JP, this is Scarlet. Scarlet has different names in JP, Korean, and English, because in Korean it's a Telltale, in JP is Gurren, and in English it's Scarlet. Now, if they were talking about removing a Scarlet Black Shadow, this means that this most likely was going to be going to legal grounds with the company making the figurines, and it's not only the NPCs but also Scarlet and her sister Rose that were in danger of being removed. Now, when they say thanks to the generosity of, on record, we can keep Scarlet or SBS in the game, I assume he got paid. Let's assume they settled this out of court because it's easier and cheaper for all parties involved, right? Now I have no idea about the JP or the Korean legal systems, which is where this is taking place, right? Shift Up in Korea, and then this artist is in JP. So no idea about this, but they finish saying, we are deeply grateful for Neko's generous consideration and will endeavor to prevent this from happening again in the future. If they were talking about removing SBS, it's because he had the claim and he had the receipts, and we almost lost one of the best looking characters because Shift Up doesn't know how to give credit when they steal from other places. Now, stealing in gacha games or in games in general is nothing new. People will continuously, cross-reference or take or take inspiration, whatever you want to call it, from other games. We've seen this with, for example, Alice. She's not the first character with a full body suit like this, but she has been probably copied in so many stupid gachas we've seen, right? So we can see this everywhere, not only in Shift Up, but other places as well. We can see it with the maid characters, with the schoolgirl characters, with so many different designs that they are not unique, but it depends on the context, can be more of a copy or less. For example, everyone's new favorite character, Quincy, it's clear that, you know, there is other gacha games using this type of design as well, and it sells, it does sell, so why not do it as well? Now, does it mean they're copying from Brown Dash 2, in this case from the Eskerade, or let's call her Eske, from the Eske costume? No, they didn't invent that, but clearly there is some inspiration and they're like, okay, this works in another gacha, let's put it in ours. Does it mean they're copying Furina in the game? No, even though we could say from Persona, maybe they're taking that style. I see it more as a reference rather than copying, right? You like Persona enough to include some characters that have that style in your game and make an event around that, which is pretty cool. We'll see when the event drops how it plays. That said though, there's a couple more things, right? So the characters they are removing, they haven't said. I hope it's not Rose, because I love this girl and I hope we get her playable at some point. We know SBS is not getting removed, so I'm gonna assume the NPCs they're removing is this one, the first one, right? The NPC 1, the melee one, and the melee must produce 2 because she has the same hair as well. So hopefully it's only these 2 and Rose stays, because like I was saying, I hope at some point we can actually get Rose. And we will be able to play with her, because she's probably one of my favorite character designs that Shift Up has made with Lily Wish. I want to get these 2 characters 100%. I think they have something that is awakening in me. I don't know what it is, but hey, it is what it is. Now, lastly, before we go, I also want to mention that Neko actually answered to this tweet. And this is what I wanted to make this video, because it's pretty interesting that what he says is, the other party has responded to this matter and apologized as detailed below. I have no intention of dragging this matter out any further, so I will end it with this report. We will not be able to answer any questions regarding this matter from now on. So we ask for your understanding and patience. 100%, he got a back out of Shift Up. Congratulations to him, because once again, when you copy, you don't get any kind of credits, you're gonna get into legal issues sometimes. The thing is, this could have been avoided if Shift Up said, we love this figurine so much, we used it as a reference, and changed the hair. Because the problem was that it was so obvious with the hair that, well, as we can see, it led to all of these problems, which it is what it is. And then lastly he says, furthermore, if any third parties makes a slander or libel against us regarding this matter, we will consider taking legal action. Hey, Neko, I'm just informing what's going on. Please don't sue me. I'm just having fun here, all right? So all that said, it's interesting to see how this unfolded. It's been 9 months since this came out, and people forget about this. I always say the same thing. You can love a game, you can love something, and it's pretty obvious that I stream this game every day for 2 fucking years, right? That I enjoy it. But you can know the faults and the downsides that the game has. Not only the game itself, but also the company. And Shift Up constantly gets into this type of problems where people like to blame someone else instead of Shift Up, right? Like every time there is a really bad collab, which is 3 times now, people blame the publisher of the collab instead of Shift Up. Every time they release a new game and it gets censored, it's not censored, they change outfits, people blame Sony instead of blaming Shift Up. Every time there is characters with no fan service or anything here happens, right, people will blame Tencent instead of Shift Up. And it's like, come on, there is only so many times you can blame someone else before the common factor comes in, right? I love this game. I'm not stopping playing at any time soon. Like, this is my favorite gacha, it's the gacha that I've been playing for the longest. But we can admit when they are wrong, right? And we can talk about these things and discuss them. That's the beauty of the internet and being fucking adults, right? So all that said, I just wanted to talk about this, how it unfolded since the last 9 months, and how it looks like it has ended. Doesn't look like there's gonna be anything else going on, since this is the last post, and he says clearly that he's not gonna be answering any questions about this. So congratulations to Neko, whatever deal he got, if there's any deal, and hopefully they do not remove Rose and we can keep her and she comes soon into the game. That said, that's gonna be it for this one. Let me know your opinions about this drama, if you want to call it drama. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. As usual, love you all bosses. Good luck with your pool dinner rates. I'll see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。